Alright, here is the video review for the Legacy Thunder Megazord, the second Megazord from the American Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series, the 16th, I think, or in Japan. I don't quote me on that. I just remember it was from a later series. But anyway, here it is. Firebird here is kind of off panel, but that happens. No big whoop. So yeah, here it is. Firebird's very simple. Got articulation there in the neck, hinged wings, so you can kind of position them however you want. Firebird, you got the Griffin, the yellow Griffin. You can start to see the wings here. The Lion. Lion was always one of my favorites. Black Lion, I think, is how he was referred to in the show. Actually, it was Mastodon, Black Lion, Thunder Zord Power, because they all had to call out their original Megazord, then the new one in the show. It was Tyrannosaurus Rex, Red Dragon, Thunder Zord Power now. Anyway, it was just Tyrannosaurus, Red Dragon, Thunder. Anyway. But yeah, so there's Black Lion. Unicorn, which I guess does in fact have one single horn up here to work as a unicorn. He also has the wings kind of painted on. Maybe Pegasus would be more appropriate, but you can pull his head back like the Griffin, but his head actually comes forward. The Griffin just does not. It only comes forward about that far. It's supposed to sit like that. And then, of course, Red Dragon Thunder Zord, which is pretty cool in and of itself. And I like that he became his own single mech by himself without having to need the other Zords to actually fight. So, very long. One leg becomes the tail, one leg becomes the head. And they are specific. If you transform him with this little loose panel, should be, if his head's facing to your left, this panel should be in the front. Or if you put this panel in the front, the head should be facing left. However you want to remember that, because one foot has this little flip out piece that the tail attaches to, and the other piece fits into the head and it actually stays on, versus this end where it will just pop off. So make sure you got it the right direction. But yeah, I've always liked the Red Dragon Thunder Zord. He's kind of a Chinese dragon, or Eastern mythology dragon, the long serpent. Very cool. He does have the platform to become the battle attack sled thing, which will show off. We'll go ahead and transform Red Dragon here first. And the first thing you do is pop this little dealy bopper off, fold the foot up, and fold this panel into the foot. The legs collapse like that to become solid legs. Pop the head off of this foot, flip this foot down, and then collapse the legs at the joints. Go ahead and pull these dragon arms down. And when you're going back, do be careful, because these are just little friction joints in here on the arm. These hinges, they do like to pop off those black hinges very easily, especially when you're going to dragon mode, so be careful of that. Flip this back, fold this in, fold that up onto the back, bring the legs down like that, and rotate them so the feet face forward. Make sure that's all clipped in. This piece, there's a hollow bit and a non-hollow side here on the support strut. The hollow piece goes on the inside. That clips on there onto the waist. Gets into the chest, forms the waist piece. You stand them up here. Come up here. You can see the arms, once they're done, rotated down. Close the fingers to make him look like he's got actual hands. And then the dragon head, you open up like this, and it clips into there. Dragon head comes down to the chest, and then the little horns come over, and there's the red mech by himself. He can hold the staff that comes with him. Staff is included, obviously. And there he is. He's the only one that's really different. Everything else kind of stays the same. The only other thing you need to change for sled mode is to pull Unicorn's head back to the same position as Griffin's. Just like that. Then you take the sled support. Now originally the Red Dragon was sold by itself, and then the assault team the other 4 Zords came with the sled in a separate package, and then the whole thing could sit on top of Tor. But they haven't done a Legacy Tor. I doubt they will. I would love it if they did, because I love Tor the Shuttle Zord. He's a giant turtle. But anyway. So yeah, you've got this here. So you take Thunderbird, crane the neck all the way back like that, and there's a couple little clips here that clip onto the support base. Then Unicorn, again, there's a groove here, there's a slot here and a groove here, and then a couple little pegs up here that go in here on each side. So you put the 2, put Griffin and Unicorn there on either side of that. And there's a couple pegs right here that go into the pegs here on the shoulders of a Lion. He goes in just like that onto the front, and then you take Red Dragon, and he's got a couple little slots there. You can see that his feet go in. Put Dragon back on, and there is the Thunder Zord Assault Team, which again could sit on top of Tor, although I doubt we're getting a Tor. And then on to Megazord. So first thing we'll do is we'll pop this off. We'll go ahead, when we pop Thunderbird off here, instead of pulling her straight off the supports, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll pop all the supports, but then pop this piece out. We'll let him attach to the Tiger Zord when we do that. So pop that piece off, pull everybody else off the sled piece here. Get Red Dragon Zord ready by doing this. Bring his arms out and up like that. Leave his head facing forward. Point his feet like that. And then rotate his legs here right below the black part. Leave him collapsed, but rotate him so that the fins are facing the outer legs. Bring Griffin's or Unicorn's head down, flip up this gray piece. Now this piece is for combining with the Tiger Zord, but if you want, you can actually flip this up in the back. That kind of fill in the leg a little better. The red piece is going to go right down here. It's entirely optional. I'm going to leave it stock. I'm not going to flip this up, but you can do that if you want. I'd have a slightly thicker looking leg from the side. So flip that up, flip the foot down. Same on Griffin. Flip that up. There are the 2 feet. Like that. And then you take there you go. And snap that all the way up and in. Snap that all the way up and in. And you can see the silver pieces are kind of covering the front of his legs to look more like a solid silver leg. And like I said, if you want, you can flip that up to make it look a little thicker from this side. Thunderbird, we're going to go ahead and pull her tail off. Pull its tail off. Then we're going to use these clips to clip right here onto the butt of Red Dragon Zord. And then we wrap this around. There's a couple little, they don't clip, but these little slots right here go over the fins on the side. Then you fold these in to form the waist piece. And coming up here to the top, first off, we take the tail from the Firebird and attach it to the staff to make a more regal staff. And then the Lion we pull apart into all kinds of pieces. So we pull the helmet off, this little panel up. We'll put that on in a second. Pull these pieces, pop these pieces off of the main Lion piece right here. They have some die cast in them, they're quite hefty. Flip out these little connector pieces right here inside the Lion and fold this down. And then this piece clips on to the front of the Red Megazord. And he looks really, really silly right now. Let's see if we can actually extend the supports on this tripod. Here we go. Come a little higher up here. No, that didn't really help because the bottom piece isn't screwed in all the way. Let me see if I can't fix that real quick. Nope, okay, whatever. So anyway, upper body here. Let's refocus. You brighten. So you take each half of the Lion head, flip this out, and you'll know which arm it is by the thumb. And basically, inside this forearm, you're just going to slide this up, push his hand into there, and then clip this on over the shoulder like that. Same on this side. Clip out the arm, slot it in, and clip it on. We're almost done. And then you take the lion helmet, and there's a couple slots here in the back. You want to make sure his ears come through these slots up here. Like that. Put the helmet on, flip down the faceplate. And we take this sword. He's got the sword with the chain. Comes out, it's chromed. But there's a couple little tabs here on the side of it that tab into the side of Thunderbird here. And then he can also hold the new staff in his hand. As well as if you want to take the sword out, you can also have him, didn't need to pull the scabbard off there. Come here, you. You can also have him hold the sword in his hand as well. And he does have some wrist articulation now, which is nice. I don't think the original had that. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I played with the original. Outside of that, not a whole lot of posability. You can kind of move the arms, or the legs. You can move the arms forward and back. You can turn his head. And that's about it for articulation here in Megazord mode, which is not exactly a surprise for Megazords. Pull back a little bit. Show off the whole thing. Come on, there we go. Pretty cool looking. Here he is with the Legacy Mighty Morphin powers, or Megazord, Mighty Morphin Powerzord, Mighty Morphin Megazord from the original. And he's much larger, you can see he's bulkier. Though again, I think that was much like the original as well. So yeah, pretty cool. He does also combine with the Tiger Zord, and we'll show that off real quick. So let's get that out of there. And bring in the Tiger Zord. There is some parts forming involved in this. We're going to go ahead and get his sword out of his hand. So, Tiger Zord combines with everybody but Red Dragon Zord. That's okay, that can come off. So pull off these black lion pieces, fold them back up. Pull off the chest plate, head, Thunderbird. Whoop, pop this head off. And the two leg pieces. And we'll go ahead and we'll turn Red Dragon Zord back into his smaller mech, which is really just collapsing his legs and rotating them back, flipping up the foot. Now he's ready to fight alongside the combined White Tiger Zord. Alright, so we're going to take this, fold these two pieces in, take this extra piece that came with it, and clip it right in here. For starters, that's going to end up storing on the back of White Tiger Zord. For the legs, these pieces are already set to go. For the bird, again, we want to take the clip from the stand. See, it's gonna go in his hand like this. You can kind of see those curved pieces go around there. So we're going to attach it to the Firebird. Actually, this way. Wait, no, I was right the first. Well, yeah, no, I was right this time. Yeah, like that. Then we're going to attach the blade, this piece, back to it because this becomes, Firebird becomes a weapon for the combined mode here. But we'll do that in a minute. So Griffin, you come down here, you got to pop these parts off. And what's nice is the one that goes on Griffin, the silver piece, is not as wide as the one that goes on Unicorn. So you'll know which one goes with which when you're putting them back together. This one will only fit on Unicorn. This one will only fit on Griffin. So if you try to put it in, it's too wide. You've got it mixed up, which is kind of nice that they made that distinction. And just flip this piece up, over, and plug it in like that, revealing a little port up here. Same on Unicorn. Pop this off. It's a little bit of a shame about the parts forming, but you know, oh well. So we'll set those down right there. Now we've got a parts form. Everything else is ready to go. We do have to parts form White Tigerzord a little bit, and that's what we have to do here is pop the feet off, unfortunately. And again, those will only go on the correct side. So if you put one on and it doesn't look like it's fitting right when you fold it back up, it's because you've got it on the wrong side. So pop those off. We'll bring his arms up. And collapse these up onto his leg like that. At which point, you connect these into the ports here on those legs. Bring his arms down. Flip this piece over. Oh. Come up a little bit higher, there we go. So flip this piece from the back of his head over and pull it up to reveal the little visor and the head for the combined mode there. Fold these panels down. Rotate this part around, and again, this black part, this piece of the black line, this clip we attach to this piece allows this to clip on right back here, store on his back. The shoulder pieces, these pieces that connected to the sled earlier, are now peg onto these ports. Make sure you'll know because one side doesn't have the logo and has the screws on it, so make sure the side with the detail and the no screws goes on each side here. There we go. And then, like I said earlier, this piece now, attach this, put this in his hand, like that, close it, wrap it up, and this becomes kind of a bladed weapon for him to use in combined mode. But there is, next to the red dragon, there are all the other Zords combined with the White Tigerzord if you have the Legacy White Tigerzord. So yeah, a fun set. A little shame, a slight shame about the parts forming, but you know, that's just how it goes. But a nice solid Legacy set. The Legacy Thunder Megazord. I got it from Amazon. Amazon had a flash deal the other day where it was only like $60 or something like that when it's normally like $200. So absolutely worth nabbing at that price. But yeah, really cool Legacy Thunder Megazord.